Welcome to Rusty Hitch Homestead. I have Idaho Pasture Pigs. I'm going to show you how I feed them, what I feed them. I feed my pigs corn, soybean meal, and distillers. When I mix it, I mix about 6 cups of corn, 2 cups of, just kidding, pounds. 6 pounds of corn, 2 pounds of soybean meal, and 2 pounds of distillers. And it looks like this when it's all mixed up. In the winter, I feed them 2 pounds in the morning and 2 pounds in the evening, each pig, of the mixed feed. 2 pounds. In the morning, I mix their minerals in with it. I don't do that in the evening though. They get next gen minerals. This is Susie. Clifford's over there sleeping. I also feed in the morning some alfalfa pellets that I let soak overnight so they don't soak in their stomach. I've tried alfalfa hay. You have to really grind it up and put it in their feed for them to eat it. I've tried to throw bales out there. They don't eat it. I've tried orchard grass hay. They just play in it. I don't know what else to do, so I got the pellets and I just throw it in with their feed in the morning in their bowls and they eat it. And it's some extra nutrition because they don't have a lot of grass growing in the wintertime, which is 80% pretty much of an Idaho Pasture Pig's diet is grass. They're a grazing pig. So if they don't have grass, I give them some grass. Clifford! There we go. Ready for dinner? Come on, let's go. The bowls that I have for them, which doesn't look like it with this one, that one's coming up. The bowls that I have for them, I've tried to give them regular bowls that you throw in there. For some reason, my pigs like to play hide and go seek, and they will take their bowl after they're done eating and they will hide it in their little house. I have to go in there in the morning and go get it. I don't want to do that. So I put pieces of plywood down, and I got these things off of Amazon, drilled a hole in the middle of a plastic bowl from Tractor Supply and put those down in the ground. So they're kind of on a plate down in the ground. I will show you what I'm talking about. They are amazing. So you put this, oh, where are we? So you put this, has a point. You put this in the ground, drill a hole in the bowl, put the bowl on top of it, and then use a drill with a little connector, drill it down all the way flush to the bowl, and then you screw this on top of it, and that keeps them from being able to pull the bowl off of the top of it. It's amazing. They can't pull their bowls off. I've tried other things. This is what's been working for me the longest. They're very destructive. They like to play with everything and try to break everything and destroy everything. You have to be smarter than a pig, which sometimes is a little bit difficult. I will show you how I mix their feed also after I go feed the 2 little pigs. Even the little pigs, since they're a lot smaller than Susie and Clifford, they still get 2 pounds each in the morning or at night. You start feeding Idaho Pasture Pigs at 12 weeks, the same amount of feed that you would be feeding an adult pig. You work up to that until then, gauge it kind of, and in the summer you feed them less because they eat more grass. So you would feed them 1 pound in the morning, 1 pound in the evening. So when the grass starts growing, I start weaning it down. I don't just go from 2 pounds to 1 pound. I do kind of like, a little bit less, maybe like 1.5, and then go from there, and just I don't abruptly change them to 1 or 2. But I'm going to show you how to mix the feed, because I buy it in bulk, which is way cheaper than buying it in bags already mixed from Tractor Supply or a co-op, or I don't know where you would get your feed from, but anywhere that puts it in a bag, basically you're going to pay way more than if you get it from some kind of place you can get it in bulk. In containers, I bring these containers with me. I got these off of Facebook Marketplace. They're 55-gallon drums. You want to make sure that they're food safe. They had pickles in them, so look up food grade barrels on Facebook Marketplace, and they're gonna have pickles in them. They're gonna have pickle juice in them, like leftover ones, nasty. Dump it out, clean it out. I use vinegar because I didn't want to put bleach in there. So get in there with a brush it out, scrub it out, clean it out with a hose, wipe it out, dry it out. I get the distillers and the corn in bulk. But the soybean meal, I actually do buy it in bags from my co-op. And that is the most expensive part of their feed because it is in a 50-pound bag. I will show you how I mix it. I really don't know where I just put the scoops I had. This is half of my life. I don't know where I put stuff, and I spend 10 minutes looking for it. I waste good portions of my life looking for things that I've lost, including keys and phone. I've actually got one of those tile things for all of my keys, and they double. You can ping them and find your phone. Super awesome. I have saved so much time finding my keys and phone nowadays. This right here, yes, it is a cement mixer. It is awesome. So I used to have to get a bunch of buckets, pour all the feed in. I could only do 2 at a time. Like, I could do 2 scoops, 2 scoops, 2 scoops, or whatever, and mix it up with my hands and then dump it in the trash cans. But this thing, I can do 12 scoops of the corn, 4 scoops of each of the others, and that's a lot of feed at one time. It's a lifesaver, really. I mean, time saver, not a lifesaver. You just flip this up. I keep it upside down because it rains. I keep it right here all the time, plugged in, so it's ready to go. I'm not carting it back and forth because I don't have time for that. I flip it over so that rain doesn't get in it. Flip it over upright when I'm ready to use it. $24 and 8 pounds and 8 pounds. That's doing, I don't even know how many buckets. I'm not really good at math. Start, spins it, I tip it, fill, tip it till it almost looks like it's gonna fall out, but it doesn't. Mixes it all up for you in probably however many seconds that was, because it's pretty much done. here. And that's how we mix Idaho Pasture Pig feed. The meat is beautiful. Pink, pinkish red. Not like that pale, nasty tan colored stuff that you see in the store. That stuff is nasty. Don't buy that. It's gross. Buy from your farmer. If you can find a local farmer that sells any kind of pig, I don't care what kind of pig it is, way better than the pork in the store. Trust me. Don't buy that stuff. It's bad for you. Oh, the morning video of how to mix feed in the morning. That's where I'll see you. Good morning. We're gonna do morning feeding. I don't think I introduced myself in the beginning of the video. First video, bear with me. My name is Lindsay. So this is the alfalfa. I just put it in a bucket. This is what it looks like after you add water to it. And basically it, I believe like 4 times the amount that you put in there, it swells up to 2 pounds each pig. And then minerals. This is what we do every morning. The minerals vary from when they're piglets to when they're adults. When they're adults and they're eating the amount of food that you feed them. This sun is killer. I also keep this in a trash can underneath of a roof because this stuff is kind of expensive. I have a scoop in here. This is 1/3 of a cup. Mix it up a little bit. It's dusty. I keep it under this pallet shed that I made. No big deal, just super cheap metal roof, pallets. I don't have money for a barn. We bring over the feed and the alfalfa. When you're feeding your pigs, you do not, this is like super important, do not get in the pen with them when you feed them because they will think person equals food. And when you go to get in there for other things, fix things, put straw in their house, whatever, they're gonna think you're giving them food every time. So they're gonna, I don't want to say attack you, but they're gonna like be on you. They're not gonna leave you alone. Feed them over the fence every single time, whether you have to throw the bowl in there, whether the fence is high, or you can just dump it over. I don't care how you do it. Don't go inside the fence. Well, that got all over. They clean it up, don't worry. So with the alfalfa, I have one of these little scoops, and I do like a whole cup. And then just like a half a cup more for each pig. Another thing about food with them, you don't want to feed them some stuff. Rhubarb, raw potatoes. You can feed them cooked potatoes. Celery, I've heard, I just don't do it because I don't want to chance it. Green tomatoes or the plant of tomato. You can feed them some other plants if you're cleaning out your garden or whatever. A lot of other plants, you can just throw them in there. If they eat them, they eat them. If they don't, they don't. Any meat. No chicken, no obviously pork. That'd be kind of messed up.
I also don't feed them any moldy food. I know some people think that pigs are trash compactors. They just eat everything. I don't feed them anything that basically I wouldn't eat, that I didn't think that was safe enough for me to eat. If it has black mold on it, green mold on it, I just throw it out. We're gonna walk out to the piglets, go feed them. If you do want to buy any pig meat, you can go on our website, Rusty Hitch Homestead. I'll put a link in the video. You can order it half the hog or whole hog. We can raise it for you, keep it from piglets, raise it up, and then you pick it up from the butcher. You can fill out your sheets, your cut sheets, whatever you want, all your specifics, how thick you want your pork chops, all the things. And that's if you live close to us. We live in Old Fort, Tennessee, so look that up, see if you live around here. Please like, subscribe, share if you know anyone that's wanting to start Idaho Pasture Pigs. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I would love to answer them. I like helping people. If I don't know the answer, I'll figure it out. Because I have a whole group of people that have Idaho Pasture Pigs, and they help me if I have any questions. After we're done feeding, we go over here. Alfalfa pellets. Also under the pallet shed, because don't want it to get wet and it'll swell all up. This is what it looks like. It's hard. I put a whole cup and then a half a cup, same as what I feed each pig, and I have 4 pigs, so like I said, it swells up 4 times. Just put it in the bucket, and then when I go in the house, I put water probably about that high above it, and it just soaks it all up. Also, I have tried to soak their feed overnight. It's not worth it. It's a lot more work, and it's heavy, and you have to drain it, and don't do it. I will see you on the next video.